between Ukraine and Russia should be discussed and solved. That is what India has taken a stand. India has told India will not support Ukraine or Russia. Indian position is neutral. That is what Indian government, Indian Foreign Affairs Minister Jaghirdas has announced. In the United Nations organization, there was a discussion yesterday, last 2 days ago.
That China is in support the.
China has openly supported. No, China has blamed other countries like America, England, and France about the sanctions against Russia. Sanctions means materials from Russia would not be purchased and materials to Russia would not be given. No business transactions, no financial help, all those things. Movement of the human beings, even employment facilities from people for the people of Russia would not be given to any other countries. So that kind of sanctions are imposed by these NATO powers. China has blamed that. This is not correctly told. China has told. China is supporting Russia. India has taken it.
Okay, sir.
India has taken
Because it is advantage of China, sir. If Russia conquer Ukraine, then they will also conquer Taiwan. So
Yes.
they are supporting Russia, sir.
Yes, this is the problem.
This is the main thing, sir.
That is a problem, and it's a problem in the world. If that continues, then small kingdoms cannot survive. If India thinks India can conquer Myanmar, Nepal, even
And Pakistan
also we can conquer if we attack. So it happens like then all those countries, small countries cannot survive. No, Bangladesh we can conquer, Sri Lanka we can conquer, Maldives is not having even small army, even a small island. Once Maldives were attacked by LTT, then Indian government only helped Maldives to chase the LTTs out. So that means a small group of terrorist organization could conquer Maldives. Then why Indian cannot conquer Maldives? Nepal is not. Bhutan is not having a strong army or anything. So like that it comes, all will be fighting each other. So it creates a problem. That is why all small countries should be permitted to survive and not enter into their territories. In our neighborhood, if there's a small fellow who is having a small land and small house, the person who is a very big attacks that person, what will do? Then small human beings cannot survive. Like that, nations also it is like that. That is a problem. If permit Russia to do whatever it wants. Okay, that's on. We were discussing about the what has happened during the Mongol invasions. Okay, page number 41. Mongol invasions time, Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq both have done their step to defend attack on Sultanate of Delhi. Alauddin Khilji developed garrison town and kept the soldiers there. Same thing was done by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. But Muhammad bin Tughlaq sent all the people in Delhi to Dawlatabad. Not the capital, shifting of the capital alone, the people who were living in that area were asked to go to Dawlatabad. But Alauddin Khilji did not ask the people to go away from Delhi. They shifted them from Delhi also, one place to another. One area was created for the soldiers, garrison town, and told the soldiers, you be here. The people of that area were asked to go to some other place. So that kind of things have happened. Then taxes. Heavy taxes were levied by Muhammad, but Alauddin Khilji collected a little less tax. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was very strict in tax collection. Then salary of the soldiers were paid by both. Alauddin Khilji sent the officials to check the market price of the materials. That was not done by Tughlaq. Tughlaq printed currency notes and began to give, and the people also printed fake notes. That has happened. That's one blunder of Tughlaq. But the policy, the idea of a currency note, that's the first introduced by him. It was a good idea, but the proper implementation has not taken place. That is between them. In the long run, if you calculate, most of the Alauddin Khilji's policies were successful and Tughlaq's policies were a failure. But they really, Mongol invasion has not taken place, so nothing has happened to them. Then we shall see the three orders, means in European society. When these kind of things were taking place in European society, the social divisions were there. Three orders: king, the praying people. That's the three orders: the people who pray, the people who fight, and the people who till the land. Three divisions of the European society. So that is estate number one, estate number two, estate number three. They are called estate. Three estates they are called. First estate is the priest, religious people. Second estate, the landlords and the nobles and persons who are fighting. Third estate, all the working sections of the people. So French society, European society was divided into that. And these knights went on crusades. Crusade is a conquest or attack by the Christians on Israel, where Muslims were ruling. Because Jerusalem is an important place for the Christians, Muslims and Jews. Christ was born and brought up and he worked there, and Christianity was established in Israel. Jews, as per the biblical explanation, that is their home ground, homeland, given by God, selected by God and given to them. And for Muslims, according to their belief, Prophet Muhammad, the founder of Islamic religion, was taken to heaven from Jerusalem. So, and later part in the medieval period or 6th or 7th century, Jerusalem was conquered by Muslims. When the Jerusalem was conquered by Muslims, the majority of the Christians were in Europe. So they sent soldiers, people to attack and conquer back Jerusalem. So the conflict between Muslims and Christians to get control on Jerusalem is known as crusade. And crusades ultimately changed a lot of social changes. No political changes have taken place at that time. Then we come to the Mughals. Mughal Empire, we can see, started by whom? Babur. In 1526, he came to India.
Babur.
Yes, Babur came from Afghanistan in 1526 and fought with Ibrahim Lodi in Panipat and established his kingdom in India. And his son Humayun, a fellow who was lazy, could not continue the empire that was established by his father. He was defeated by Sher Shah. Then he could come back to power in 1554. Then he died, comes Akbar the Great. You see, we call Akbar the Great not because of any other, because of his policies. He looked after administration very well. He permitted all the people to believe in any religious activities they want. So that is Din Ilahi, a religion. He himself has founded a new religion, and he did not force anybody to believe in that religion itself. That is the greatness of Akbar. That is why we call him the Akbar the Great. Any individual, any person could have their freedom of anything. That doesn't mean that king permitted anybody to conquer his kingdom and rule independently. As a king, naturally, he did not permit anybody to take over his positions. He has attacked and conquered other kingdoms. And the Rajaputs, he had a good relation. Some of the Rajaputs were defeated by him. Some of them were not ready to accept. That's natural. It should happen like that. Everything cannot be on one person's desire. And the defeated Rajaputs, he treated them with a good respect. That is what. So many of the Rajaputs were having good relationship with Akbar. Even Akbar married some of the daughters of Rajaputs, because Islamic religion, the king can, or Islamic religious, as per the present rule also, they can have 4 wives, legally permitted. So Akbar had. So that was the situation. So good relationship be maintained with all that. That is why we call him Akbar the Great. Then we come to Akbar's son Salim or Jahangir is called. Jahangir was not so much generous or having magnanimous mindset like Akbar. So the administration was not so much proper during Jahangir, and he had his wife named Noor Jahan, and she was looking after most of the time administration. This fellow Jahangir was a good painter. He used to sit and paint. So during his administration time, only the Britishers are coming to India to establish administration. A person named Thomas Roe came to meet Jahangir, and Jahangir gave him permission to establish factories in Surat, start factories. So that is Jahangir's administration. After Jahangir's death, we come to the Shah Jahan, the architectural man of India, we can say. Many monuments are constructed but during the reign of Shah Jahan. That is Red Fort, Agra Fort, even the Taj Mahal, etc. were constructed during the reign of Shah Jahan. And we know Taj Mahal is world famous. Akbar had his capital at Fatehpur Sikri. Fatehpur Sikri is near to Agra, around 70 kilometers away from Agra. So that was the capital. That is the capital of Akbar. And there is a structure named Pancha Mahal. A 5-story building is there. And at the top of that is the king used to sit and watch the programs that is taking place on the ground floor. Dance programs. At that time, that was like entertainment for them. Modern period, there is a drama and all those things, or cinemas. At that time, entertainment was that. So they used to dance. And the downside people used to sit and see the dance programs. So that is Fatehpur Sikri and Panchamagal. So that is, then Aurangzeb came, our Jahangir and Shah Jahan. Then comes the important last Mughal emperor named Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb was not a tolerant person, religious tolerant. He wants that Islamic religion only should exist. Other religious people was not supported by him. He imposed a tax on them, jizya. Reimbursed it. It was banned by Akbar. So naturally, discrimination between different religious sections have started there. So that was not good for India. In India, we have got different religions. So all these different religious sections should be permitted to survive according to the. If we discriminate on one religion to another, that creates a problem. So that was done by Aurangzeb. So naturally, many places he had to fight, and he simply attacked many small kingdoms. In Bijapur was attacked and conquered. Golconda was attacked and conquered. So naturally, all the money that was there in the palace of Delhi was spent for this kind of activities. So after his death, his sons were fighting each other, and there was no peace in Delhi, and that is why they are called later Mughals. None of them could look after the administration very well. So when we discuss Mughal Empire really existed from 1526 to 1857. But after that, we take care only 1526 to 1707. 1707 is the death year of Aurangzeb. After that also Mughals were there. They are called later Mughals. And none of the later Mughals were very strong to defeat any other powers, because they could not leave Delhi and go and check any provinces. When you studied last chapter of this one, there I told you, the kings in Delhi could not go to the provinces and check. So the provincial governors became independent and they began to look after administration. Whatever they like. They began to collect the taxes as they want. And they were not giving any money to central government. They declared independence. We know that. 3 independent kingdoms were created. That is Awadh, then Bengal and Hyderabad. Bengal it was Nawab, Hyderabad Nizam and Awadh Nawab. So they were independent units. They became independent states, we can say, after the death of Aurangzeb. The later Mughals were not able to look after, control. That is why these governors became real rulers of that area. They declared themselves independent state. I am the ruler in this. Central government or Delhi has no control over me. That way the administrations were going on. That is what we see in the last chapter of this textbook. The Mughals became good relation. Some of the Mughals were having good relationship. Mainly Akbar was having very good relationship. Jahangir also, okay, good relationship was with Rajaputs. Even Shah Jahan also. But after Shah Jahan, things changed. Aurangzeb was not having good relationship with any Mughals or any, even Marathas. All other kingdoms of that Western India were not supported or helped or had a good relation with Aurangzeb. So naturally they began to declare. That's why the Marathas under leadership of Shivaji and then the Peshwas, all of them began to look after they began to conquer or they began to look after. But they were blocked. Their movement and advancement, growth was blocked in the Battle of Panipat in 1761 when Ahmad Shah Abdali and Marathas met each other. There's a third Battle of Panipat. Ahmad Shah Abdali also was coming to capture Delhi. Marathas also were moving to capture Delhi because when the person who rules Delhi or captures Delhi is said to be the ruler of India. So that was the aim of both the countries, both the teams. Marathas wanted that. They had a complete control on Western India. So they wanted to capture Delhi and become the real rulers of India. So they were moving with that intentions. But they were blocked by Ahmad Shah Abdali in Panipat. And in that, if Marathas had won, that's imagination, they may be in the control of Delhi. That we don't know. That is imagination. We cannot say what would happen. That is if. That's only if it is not possible to say it would have been. Okay, anyway, that has happened. Marathas were defeated in the Battle of Panipat by Ahmad Shah Abdali. The changes have taken place. And the Mughals collected different kinds of taxes and they appointed Mansabdas and Jaghirdas, means soldiers, persons who are asked to collect the taxes, the persons who are asked to look after administration, Mansabdas, were person, and they had a responsibility, the soldiers also under them. And Mughals had different kinds of groups of nobles were there in their family in Delhi. That is Muslims, Afghans, Rajaputs, Marathas, Iranians and Turanians, or Turkish nobles, nobles who came from Turkey, nobles who came from Iran, because originally the sultans or Mughals were from Afghanistan and Iran. So naturally when he came, Babur came, there were soldiers and influential members with him. And they continued to influence. Then Turkish persons also came along with them. Then Iranians. When Akbar was there, naturally Akbar supported Indian leaders, namely Rajaputs. So Rajaputs nobles were there. Nobles means the persons who will have a good influence in the government or good influence in the administration of the country with Rajaputs. Rajaputs also. Akbar used to discuss and consult with Rajaputs. Rajaputs were given Watan Jagis. So they were given free administration area. Mughal emperor would not interfere in any matters of that area. Only that they were not permitted to attack any other kingdom without the permission of the Mughal emperor. Otherwise they were given free hand. Like Britishers were ruling in India. At that time Indian kings were same way. Mughals had given permission to Watan Jagis. So they were independent. They were looking after their administration. They had to pay some tax to Mughals and look after their administration. That was it. See, all these officials, they had their, now modern period, we know, army general is there, lieutenant general is there, brigade, lieutenant general, major general is there, brigadiers are there. Like that, army has got ranks. Below brigadier, there is a colonel, then lieutenant colonel, major, like that, ranks are there, coming from the top. So that ranking system, in the military system of Mughals also these rankings are there. That's every time that ranking is there because we should know who is where, who should take care of what are the roles of each person. One should not interfere in others' role. And the person who is responsible in his role, he should play. If he is not playing, he should be held responsible. That is why the rank and positions are told, the area of it is told. Even you see, you study a 7th class, you are asked to study this much. So that is where you have to study. If you are interested, you can study higher up. That very rarely any system permits you to go up. You must pass the examination, and there are very rarely. That's why somebody get promotions. A student also gets. There are students who are permitted to study. A 9-year-old boy or 10-year-old boy will be able to study 12th class examinations, write the 12th class examinations. There are stories like that because each step he has passed without others' help in a short time. Like that, promotions also in government offices you get a promotion. Written examinations are there. So ranks are given like that. Ranks simply will not come. This is earned. Worked hard and earned. You are promoted because the higher authority comes to know that you are able and talented and you can look after the administration what is expected of you. So they give you promotions, give a higher post. There also when you perform very well, there the senior person who has to retire, they think he is eligible, so he is promoted. That is a promotion way. They give him what is needed, due. He can do it. That is what is it. Then only the system will come. Otherwise, the system cannot continue. The new person should be able to look after the administration. And when his age comes, when he has to come to that proper age, he should be guided and he should be given promotions. And he should see what is taking place. These are normal administrative activities in anywhere. Not only in the governments, anywhere, at home also. Father will give some of the responsibilities to the children. Then only children will be able to do. Mother also will give responsibilities to the children. So both of them will, then they only will be able to look after things, do the things. And they learn from observation how the parents are doing. So these are natural process of everywhere it is like this. Okay. Then, the book written by Abdul Fasal. Abdul Fasal has written the book about Akbar. And we come to know about Akbar's administration, the taxes collected, the way Akbar looked after administration, the care he has taken, everything from the book written by Abdul Fasal named Aini Akbari or Akbar Nama. These books give details about it. So you must understand, Abdul Fasal has written, Akbar was illiterate. Akbar was not able to read and write. You see, when he was a child, nobody could force him to sit and write and because he was emperor. Who can force the emperor? Even mother cannot force the emperor. So Akbar enjoyed the life. But later he came to know that the education that he has not acquired is not good. So he assigned persons to read books to him. He used to listen to the readings of others. That sense he got. He understood that education is important. So he appointed a person who is educated to write the details about administration and all that. That is Abdul Fasal. He wrote 2 books continuously. It is Akbar Nama and Aini Akbari. So 2 books are there. Akbar ordered one of the close friends and courtiers, Abdul Fasal, to write a history of his reign. Abdul Fasal wrote 3 volumes of history, Akbar's reign, titled Akbar Nama. 2 volumes means 3 books, 3 volumes. The first volume dealt with Akbar's ancestors and the second volume. So where did Akbar come from? History of Akbar. Okay. Then work of Akbar. Okay. That is recorded ancestors. Second volume recorded the events of the Akbar's reign. What did Akbar do? How did it happen? How many wars he fought? With whom he fought? What was the result? Why did he fight? How did he deal after the war? The friendship, the battles, the revenge, the love, all those things were written by Akbar in the second volume. Akbar's ancestors and the Akbar's reign. The third volume is the Aini Akbari, deals with Akbar's administration. How did Akbar look after administration? How much tax was collected? How officials were appointed? What are the qualities of the officials? Whether they were good or bad, whether they could look after administration. All these details we are able to get from the book named Aini Akbari. Household, army, the revenues and the geography of his empire. It also provides rich details about traditions and culture of the people living in India. The most interesting aspect about the Aini Akbari is its rich statistical details. Means how much rupee was collected, how it was spent, from each area how much amount was collected. So that is a statistical. And in area, he say in this area how much material was produced, how much wheat was produced. From 1 acre land, how much wheat was produced, how much tax was collected from that area. All those details. That would help in now also for us. So this was at that time what was situation now. So comparison is possible. If that record was not available, we could not know anything about the result of the work they did. In a 1 acre of the land, how much wheat could be produced, or the pulses could be produced, or sugarcane is produced. Nothing was known. But here, Aini Akbari has given a statistical data, clear-cut picture details. In the area where there is a water, how much of production, area where there is no water, how much of production. All those details are available in the book named Aini Akbari, written by Abdul Fasal, and that is about the reign of Akbar the Great. Now Akbar had religious thinkings, I told you, but that religious thinking, it was not forcing anybody to follow his religious ideals. It was left. Akbar had called all the religious meetings. Christians, Hindus, Muslims, Jains, Buddhists.
Sir, the co-host is disturbing by setting the stage view, sir.
Pardon?
Sir, the co-host is setting the stage view for everyone, so we are disturbed by that, sir. Every time we have to correct it, sir.
Co-host, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now he may not do it. Now he understood, no? Once you told it, he will stop, whoever it is. Okay. So that is the situation about Akbar, about religions. See, we will see what is written in the page number 15. I will read it. As in the wide expanse of the divine compassion, there is a room for all classes and the followers of all creed. All sections of the people and all the creed, those who believe in different religious sections. In his imperial domains, which on all sides were limited only by the sea, means Akbar had a boundary till the end of the sea. There was a room for the professors of opposite religions, means a religion that is existing and other religion which is not supporting that. Both had a place in his kingdom. And for beliefs, good and bad, you can believe, no problem, anything, but don't disturb others. That was only policy. And road to intolerance was closed. No intolerance was. You have to tolerate. In your a friend is there of different religion, you must bear with him and you have to go. If he disturbs you, okay. If he doesn't disturb you, you must permit that person to survive. You must permit that person to practice his religion. You must permit that person to go ahead with his ideas. That's what Akbar has done. Professors of opposite.
Should we have, sir? Should we have, India should have let the Britishers into our country or not?
Britishers, when they came, Britishers were, they had supported Christianity. Britishers supported Christianity. But they also did not force anybody to believe in anything. They permitted the Christian people to come and teach their religion and supported those who changed their religion. That's all. But they were not forcing anybody to change their religion. They supported or anybody who wants to change the religion. Naturally, this because the Europeans were believing in Christianity, they provided financial assistance and help, all those things to the people who changed into Christianity. But they did not force anybody. If interested, they were providing. It is, we can say, financial inducement. Some financial inducement were given by the Britishers also to change the religion. People. That has happened. They were, because they thought that as their thinkings. Sunnis and Shias met in one mosque and Christians and Jews on one church to pray. He constantly followed the principle of universal peace. That was Akbar the Great. Okay, the Mughal Empire and then kingdoms and queens. Yes. Now time is up.
Sir, I was saying that in for us that Britisher came, it is good for us only now, sir. That is why if Britisher would not have come, we would have not been a democracy.
Yeah, that, see, I understand 100% we are not able to predict anything. There may be a chance that all the kings join to and they say we will have a democratic government. That also is possible. These are all imaginations that we see. Because what has happened, we know. What would have happened, these are all predictions. Would have. There may be some other things. Then some other superpower may come and conquer all kingdoms of India. Or they were divided. All those things. These are imaginations only. They have come and unified India. That is correct. So if they have not come, those things we are. And if they have come, if they have not unified, it's all imaginations only. We don't know. If India has not got independence in 1947, when? And if Gandhi was not there, what would happen? All those are imaginations. Okay, happened. That is right. We learn from what has happened to take a step further. If there is a wrong in that what has happened, that should not be repeated in the future. That is what aim of our history. Okay, see you tomorrow. It is telling.
Bye, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. It tells Weber's time is up. Okay. Bye.